Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another day of some wonderful BTS America's action. We are in the third edition here where we have another spread of awesome teams from across America who are going to be battling it out for $10,000 of prize pool here. Now, the match is getting started. I know we are starting a bit late. Void Boys and their fifth player were pretty damn tardy, but they just were this close. And you can't see it, but they were just this close away from getting a def loss. But now we get to battle out in game number one. Here's the bracket. You can see where we are. This is the last game of the first round. Winner to move on and face Archon. That game happens after this series, so it's going to be a doubleheader for whatever team wins this first series.
10 seconds remaining.
Back into the draft now. Myself, KotLGuy, going to be bringing you the coverage here for Beyond the Summit, but I'm not going to be alone. Joining me remotely, I got my good buddy Gabe here, Mr. Lyrical Gangster. Lyrical,
time.
What's up, brother? Hopefully you're coming in loud and clear. Let me see how it works. How you doing, my friend?
Oh, I'm doing wonderful. You know, I'm so excited to actually be getting a game. I was so worried about it. You mentioned that the admins were just itching on that trigger finger for the def loss button, but nobody wants to do that, as you said, and I'm super excited to see this one, particularly because PaiN Gaming, this is one of their first games that we've seen in officials since back in December almost. They've been pretty flying under the radar. Oh, yeah. I think they did go through the open qualifiers for Shanghai Major qualifiers, but they didn't even make it to the round of 32 if they were indeed in that. So I'm excited to see what they bring to the table.
It should be interesting. PaiN Gaming is just another one of those teams that I always expect to show up at these kind of tournaments, whether it's your Canada Cup or your BTS Americas. It wouldn't feel right if a PaiN Gaming wasn't involved, if a Not Today wasn't in there somewhere. And, you know, you could say for the same on the side of North America. The roster is shuffled around quite a lot. People still trying to find their groove. They're trying to take it to that next level, taking it from being a, well, I don't want to be sounding too harsh here, Gabe, a C-list player to maybe a D, and then or maybe a B, and then hopefully one day making it to a A status quota here. But we'll see if they're going to have.
The fans in chat, at least, they're all A-lists in their hearts. That's for dang sure. Everybody out there is loving them, and looking to be a little bit of unique styles here. The first pick, Nature's Prophet for Void Boys, the Canadian guys coming at it, trying to create some trees in the split push abound. I'm liking it so far with a decent amount of D-push and sort of team fight potential coming out from PaiN Gaming already.
Yeah, this is had been a staple 1-2 punch in the last meta. You know, the Gyro Darkseer provides a huge wombo combo effect, and as you said, huge team fight. Interesting to see both teams kind of bypass some of the more favorable grabs for what we saw through MDL and even Captain's Draft, let's say, but whatever. Faceless Void being kind of put on the side for now. There is still an off-lane option potentially for Void Boys. I don't know if this is going to be a safe lane Nature's Prophet or not. That seems like the new craze starting to pop up, so I don't know what they're going to do, but for Void Boys to pass on Void, something ain't right there, Lyrical, so it's a bit bizarre for me. But they do end up going into new meta territory now as they grab up the Oracle, a huge counter, of course, to the precious Darkseer. PaiN Gaming maybe not thinking ahead and kind of getting that ban out of the way, but now Darkseer is going to have to deal with an Oracle coming into lane, purging off those Ion Shells, purging away the Surge. Could be a troubled time for him, let's say.
Oh, definitely. And, you know, I think that they had a couple of different issues that were coming up here for PaiN Gaming with their draft. Like, you've got the two different sides of it. One is the Oracle, obviously, a great counter to Darkseer. But the second is that we've seen a lot, and we talked about sort of the influence of the meta, where we saw MDL and, Captain's Draft, these other tournaments providing the premier top tier picks, but one of the teams that sort of was really prominent at the start of it was Spirit, and they ran the Lycan with the Nature's Prophet Invoker gain 1,010,000 Necro books, and I think that they were really concerned about that Lycan pickup or the Juggernaut, just the sort of mass physical damage, and wanting to take them out instead. We'll see if it ends up paying off for them. It really comes down to if this sort of dual aggro off lane of Spiritbreaker Darkseer is going to be able to deal with whatever they have in that safe lane.
Yeah, I'm trying to think now what would be a good substitute, because the Lone Druid would have obviously been the dream here for Void Boys. Alacrity Bear along with the push of something like Nature's Prophet's ridiculous. Then you have Jug and Lycan, who are kind of also up there in ranks as far as hefty push and someone to take advantage of it. So it looks like they'll have to kind of take away from the push and go into more maybe mid-fight or all-around snowball potential. They grab up the Slark here, and then this comes after PaiN Gaming commit for a Queen of Pain here. I don't know if they know it is 6.86 now. You know, it's okay to branch out a bit. This is something I probably would have seen, you know, a month ago and been like, this is a star-studded lineup already for him. You know, you get your classic synergy, Iron Shell, Spirit Breaker going to be adding pressure to the Invoker in the mid lane, which hopefully will help out the Queen of PaiN a bit. All they pretty much have to round it out with was, I don't know, something like a Dazzle or any sort of solid defensive support, and they would have a pretty well-rounded strat here, but Void Boys have the more intriguing lineup where they're looking to kind of, you know, explore a bit. And I'm more curious to see what they're going to be doing to kind of round things out. They banned out the Bounty Hunter, which is a bit peculiar to me because that would have made for a really greedy support duo between Spirit Breaker and Bounty Hunter. So maybe Void Boys are just thinking getting a jungler or something greedy that the Bounty Hunter would have been able to punish. I don't know. But it's even PaiN Gaming with the first pick. So, Gabe, I'm a little flabbergasted, to be honest with you.
Yeah, no, it's a little bit strange. It's definitely a weird collection of things going on. I think the other thing to keep in mind is that they had 0 reserve time this whole time. They ended up going for that level 3 penalty, so maybe a little bit under the gun. The other sort of dynamic there is that PaiN Gaming with this gyrocopter first pick, it's really reminiscent of what we were seeing a lot in 6.84 and 6.85, where they would rotate once gyrocopter gets level 6 into a gank on the opposing safe lane with a smoke behind the tier 1 tower, and that was like the South American. What the hell is that, hero? Oh, whoa. My goodness.
Well, I guess I wasn't too far off the mark when I said they wanted to go greedy jungler or something. I don't think they had to ban the Bounty Hunter. I guess it was in case PaiN Gaming happened to grab it, but there it is, taking a page out of the EG book. But when EG pulled it out against OG at MDL, it was more to punish the fact that they committed for a Wisp. But I guess you can kind of have the same thing in play here. They've already committed for a Spirit Breaker who isn't looking to be locked down in a lane and is kind of just, you know, hanging through the whole laning phase, kind of protecting their core. But I don't know if I would still be comfortable with an Enigma this game. That Spirit Breaker could just as easily, you know, go up to some mischievous good by visiting the jungle and kind of getting in the face of the Enigma. Gabe, what do you think about the back end of this freaking draft right now?
I think it's absolutely crazy, but I think that PaiN Gaming solved one of their problems, which was breaking high ground with the Shadow Shaman. I really like that pickup. I think that it's something that shows that maybe they're keeping a little bit more comfortable with the current meta, and we'll see indeed if that's going to be the case at all. But I think with the Enigma, the one side of it is we actually haven't had one player load into the game yet that I'm a little bit curious about is sometimes when you have an Oracle player, you lack the ability to control in the mid game, and that's what that black hole is going to be able to give you, is the ability to just, you know, toss that spell on out there, make sure that, you know, when the team fights start to happen, when Gyrocopter rotates in with his ultimate, they're going to have something to fall back on, some form of solid team fight control. And I mean, there's not a whole lot better than black hole, and I think that this is a hero that still can be punished in the laning stage, but it's just going to come down to needing some good positioning.
Yeah, and just the fact that you have that black hole in your arsenal means you get to have that whole mind game. PaiN Gaming need to kind of be thinking 2 steps ahead and make sure they have the wherewithal that they double check their positioning and don't kind of put themselves into a bit of a sticky situation where next thing you know it's a turnaround 4 or 5 man black hole, and quickly Void Boys could kind of just continue to snowball on the back of a Slark that has a huge buildup, or even an Invoker here. So PaiN Gaming off to a bit of a frisky start on this one. It's just game number 1 of this first best of 3. We have 3 best of 3s for you today, so a lot of BTS America's action. And coming out of the gate, PaiN Gaming versus Void Boys to close out the opening round, and they're going to get a catch here for 747. Little Susie, going to be able to make away from this one, has to go into the pounce, steps away from trouble, a commitment early from Blink. Now the Queen of PaiN is going to get a few right clicks in, but they are not going to get the first blood, and he's going to be able to make it out to safety. He already has 8 tangos up, so plenty of regen to work with, but no first blood.
That is too bad. There was a couple of instances there where they might have been able to catch the Slark. A little bit of a miscommunication where they didn't minimax the Shackles combo together with the Spirit Breaker charge. Obviously, it's not a very long stun at all. It's just that 1.25 seconds. But regardless, maybe that little extra bit could have helped them, or possibly seeing the Queen of PaiN being able to blink and body block on the other side. And I thought there was a chance that Quap could have maybe dove for that, but with the salve up on Slark, he probably would have been able to survive in the Stout Shield also. A lot of regen, as you said. And I think it's because he realizes this is going to be a tough lane for him. I mean, you've got Spear Breaker, you got Dark Seer. They're just going to be roaming on into there, constantly harassing him until he gets sixth. He doesn't have the greatest support in the world. I wonder if they're going to rotate the Enigma in once he gets a couple of levels, because some demonic conversion Eidolons, I feel like, can be a big difference maker if the ganks come at a particular time.
Yeah, he might have to be forced to that kind of situation based upon what PaiN do here, as far as, you know, being a presence in the jungle, maybe putting out a couple of wards. I don't know if they feel it's necessary to even block out a couple of camps. We still have an extra ward here on the Spirit Breaker to kind of work with, but if he doesn't really have much to work with to be a greedy jungler, then he might have to kind of be a presence in the lane. I'm still curious to see how PaiN are going to be even dishing out their lanes if they want to go more aggressive, because I still can't help but feel like this Darkseer could run into a bit of trouble. If they really wanted to punish this Darkseer, though, they could have tried to make their own move in blocking out that new additional side camp here. He'll always be able to fall back on that, and then worst case scenario, just kind of fall back to the jungle altogether. But I would imagine in the laning phase, he's not going to be able to do a lot as long as the Oracle is on the other side. But as I say that, this Oracle is actually up near the top lane, so I'm curious if he's looking to take his business elsewhere. He is deep. He's
well, it looks like it looks like Shadow Shaman is going to be sitting here and just being a ward to block the camp himself. And I do believe that this ward that's on the low ground or high ground right here doesn't block the camp. I'm not entirely positive about it, but it's still going to give you good vision. And the only thing is that, you know, you see this aggressive lane right here. I'm not sure if Oracle is going to be able to do enough to help him even. Normally it's a good response, but with the aggro tri-lane, they're going to be diving 747 right from the start, and this could be an early first blood as the game gets paused.
Yep. Unfortunately, it looks like we're going to be a bit stop and go as we begin. We'll hope that things kind of resolve out a bit, but yeah, I mean, the situation I laid out, I guess, was obviously more if it was going to be Darkseer left at his own, but they recognized the fact that he would definitely be struggling at the start here, and they're looking to kind of be off to a very assertive start. They move in, and with this three-man swarm, they're making their jump for the Slark right now. They have the vision to see that help is not close. Fly has still got quite a journey to be able to make it there. So if they're going to be able to get this, I don't know. We'll have to see. We've already committed a deep set of shackles right now, and if he does go down, this is going to be a very tricky start for the Slark. Slark loves to kind of have a good head start. You know, one who typically likes to meet his quota, get up the early Midas for what we've been seeing for the most part, and then be able to build on top of that.
Well, and I think the thing with Slark is, like, you are a little bit vulnerable in this laning stage if your laning partners can't help you find those kills. Pounce is great to be able to shut somebody down, but if you don't have the damage to follow it up with the rest of your supports, it really isn't enough. And this is what I'm thinking with the Enigma, is that he's going to have to make a rotation at some point in time. Either they're going to need to rotate him into this lane to help out, or he's going to have to be able to switch up lanes and send the Nature's Prophet down here, because they can literally do this every time Shackles is off cooldown. And there's nothing that a solo Slark can do about it. The best he can do is maybe pounce away into the trees, but then he's not farming.
Yeah, their only hope is they just have to, like, kind of sack the lane, which I know you don't want to have to do, and hope that maybe Getovas here on the mid lane Invoker is going to be able to get a lot. Same with the Nature's Prophet to kind of make up for it. But I imagine once they kind of bully the Slark out of the lane or out of position, they could just as easily make the roam through and kind of just take over the whole bottom half of the map and really make life difficult then for the Oracle and the Enigma. That would be way too crippling here for Void Boys, so we'll have to see what their counter response is going to be. Like you said, maybe make an audible call and change things up with the Enigma. But let's see. They couldn't get the finish here onto the Slark in the bottom lane, so he's able to make it back behind the trees. But they are committed in deep. They want to make sure they can take 747 down. Now forced to eat through the trees, going right through that huge pack of tangos, which was once 8, now down to 2. Look at this. Fly steps in, gets off the Fortune's End, locks Ratsu under the tower a little bit. He eats the extra damage and will be able to make it back and away. Now look at this. Spirit Breaker moves in with an Ion Shell, committing deep under the tower, but they've got the creeps to work with, and eventually he'll be able to find his slick escape here. A very aggressive start already coming here for PaiN.
Yeah, I'm really surprised they weren't able to get that kill. I thought that they were going to be able to body block the pounce, but not quite being in position. And thankfully, he was able to get out of there for 747's sake. It's still such a hard lane for him. And I mean, you take a look at this relative to the gyrocopter up top, who, while Nature's Prophet isn't the easiest person in the world to lane against, it's not going to be able to shut down his farm super hard. And I mean, I think at this point, all eyes down bottom, at least until we see some other rotation around. And maybe now that Enigma has started to move around a little bit more, they're going to be able to force them out of, just consistently camping them. But it's still just such a big ask.
2-minute rune's going to come up, and it looks like it'll be an Arcane. Picked up the Enigma. Nice rune to have to be able to take it into the jungle and just kind of get even more out of having the extra refresh of course, the Demonic Conversion or Malphus, whatever's necessary. And he's beginning to creep towards that bottom lane, so he might be able to get in there and kind of let them know that he's around. But mid lane, KotLGuy is in a bit of trouble. I don't know if it's because his laggy start, but this Queen of PaiN is quickly taking over. He's going to get off the Sunstrike right now, but look who shows up from behind. Shadow Shaman just easily walks in, shackles him on up, and we'll be able to get the kill. Oh my goodness, Queen of PaiN almost goes down to one more right click of the tower, but she's going to be fine and walk away from the trouble there. So first blood comes out, and it's going to go to PaiN.
Man, really well played there to be constantly wherever he needs to. The shackles are really paying off for him, and the Spirit Breaker is still able to come on over and contest the Enigma's farm. Also, it really feels like PaiN has a good handle on how to play this matchup, given what they've been sort of faced with in the lane stage. And now the rotation down to bottom, going to be able to find KotLGuy too. This Nature's Prophet is going to end up going down, and man, Shadow Shaman just everywhere.
He's really doing a nice job keeping himself off the radar, and it looks like punishing Void Boys for not taking things a bit more cautiously now. And the rotations don't stop. Spirit Breaker now going to be up in arms a bit here with the Enigma. Going to eat the Malphus. Fortune's End will come out, but he's got charge. He's going to be fine. He uses said charge. He'll cross through the mid lane here and put himself in a solid position. We look over the CS now. 20 going to be going for the Darkseer. He's getting the most out of the map right now. Second to him is the Gyrocopter. So you're talking about pretty much 3 easy lanes already won for PaiN Gaming. The Quap is beating out the Invoker, 13 to the Invoker's 6 CS right now. Gyrocopter's got 20. You compare that to the offlane Nature's Prophet, 11 and 8. It's okay, but it's just very obvious that PaiN are getting a lot. Gabe, what should maybe Void Boys do to consider to kind of change things up and get themselves back into the the positive here?
I think that it needs to come with the rotation onto this gyrocopter before he hits 6. Once he hits 6, I don't know if there's anything that they can really do to try and, punish him at all. And maybe it's even a rotation from the Slark to switch up and to make an aggro tri-lane themselves, because I just don't see him being able to get enough in this lane to propel him to the later stages. The other option that you could potentially have is combo together something with like the Invoker Sunstrike towards the bottom lane. It's level 3 at this point, so it does a decent chunk of damage, but they need to get some type of control on this, either Darkseer or the Gyrocopter, because if they let them continue to get this level of farm, it's not going to be great. And level 6 now up, they're going to be able to catch on KotLGuy again. He's going to get chased on down. I think he does get out of here, though, with the teleport, and I mean, still, it's that's him out of lane, and he's going to keep the pressure on now.
Maybe he should take his business elsewhere. You're talking about setup and control for a Sunstrike. He has a Sprout to work with, and well, I thought maybe he could make a presence towards the bottom lane, but it looks like he makes his return top. He's going to be within the Enigma now, and maybe the Enigma is going to take a more greedier farming path as he begins to kind of move his way through probably the PaiN side of things here.
Radiant's middle tower is under
just
attack.
kind of still letting him know that he's here, but obviously he's going to be
Quap
bullied out of the lane.
With the
Radiant's middle tower
Quap with the DD ended up using her first Sonic Wave to pick off the Invoker in the mid lane. It just goes to show how freaking committed they are to shutting this guy down. He is not having a good game at all, and I think it's largely, I mean, you take a look at the last hits right now, the top 3 across the board, they're just really dominating Void Boys.
Poor KotLGuy right here. Now not even with a tower to kind of hang under. He's going to definitely be in the dark, and I don't even know. It looks like they saw the Spirit Breaker charging through. They have double wards now that's going to be seeing the path, so they are quick to get under the tower, possibly and away from trouble, but Fly is still in a very open spot. So gets popped in the noggin a bit. They'll pull off. Everything's going to be Gucci, and they'll get themselves back into the lane. But here comes Queen of PaiN. No Sonic Wave here to work with, but is made the rotation towards the bottom lane here. They're going to look to kind of take their advantage and continue to snowball with it even further. A possible takedown on a lone Oracle or not. They actually get the catch here for 747. They make their move, and they make it look easy, Gabe. Slark goes down. A huge 4-0 start for PaiN Gaming.
And it's not just that. I mean, take a look at the net worths right now. Quap is at 3,500. She is more than doubling the Slark right now, more than doubling the Invoker, who's the third lowest in the net worth. And the bigger deal also, I mean, he's still getting his levels, but he's nowhere close to being able to pick up a Midas to help accelerate that. He just picked up his Gloves of Haste. I mean, these are the moments where you sort of just have to make some concerted effort to group together and possibly find something with the first black hole, because Enigma is like the lone bright spot for their team, and he's almost 6. They have to make something happen with that first big ulti.
Oh yeah, if they're not a presence here with their level 6s coming online, this game is as good as done, and it could end up going down faster than we had to wait for it to even to begin. Uh-oh, they might have caught out Tail here in the river. A little lone Shadow Shaman going to get caught out from Nature's Prophet. Call down, though, from up and above here to help him back. Look at that. Gyrocopter with the easy snipe, taking down Enigma. They finally will be able to get the grab on the Shadow Shaman. It gets them on the board. They had to work damn hard for it, and they lose their precious Enigma as an exchange. So even at that point, it doesn't feel like it's worth it at all with the Gyrocopter getting the kill. PaiN Gaming still getting the most out of the situation.
Absolutely. They're in such a great spot. You can't really have a game go like this. Now, the one upside for this, for Void Boys, is we do see the Sonic Wave top lane and Fly is going to go down, is that so the one thing that's sort of a bonus about this is that they have a squad that deals okay with keeping the split push gaming going, because you're going to be able to have Nature's Prophet roam around and try and, you know, take down the tier 1 towers. You're going to have Slark, who eventually is going to be able to have solo kill potential as long as he doesn't get completely and totally trashed over the next couple of minutes. That's how they get back into this one, is through split pushing and pickoffs.
It would help if they can also get some level 6s here on their supports. Oracle having the false promise could certainly help, so he could survive and make it back and out, and possibly go in for a second round with all that benefit of regen. The synergy between a Slark and Oracle is very, very nice. He gets double that regen back under the false promise. We'll pretty much get it guaranteed, and could help and allow 747 to be able to come out on top. But for right now, PaiN have all the extra ammunition because of the economy growth here. Net worth again, top 3, all belonging to them. We haven't even really seen this Darkseer have to be a presence yet in a lot of these fights. He's been able to be extra greedy. Almost has his mech done now, but still needs to string together some extra levels before we get to see the precious, you know, vacuum wall combo. They could get a catch here, it looks like. They've already pinged out and spotted Nature's Prophet. Donkey J in trouble. They move in. They're going to go ahead and get off the screen. Even a wall committed for this. Was not necessary, but they're going to use it. Nature's Prophet goes down, and a mega kill for the Quap.
Oh, man. I mean, all right, here's the sort of plus side again. We got to find the silver lining here for Void Boys. One, this is a lot of gold built up on the Quap, which can maybe be dealt back to them. We've all seen games where Queen of Pains go 5-0, 8-0, and then end up feeding a lot of it back. But the call down committed up in the top lane. They're not able to take this yet. That's maybe if they're able to find a pick off on her, they're able to do it. But looking like they want to fight up top.
747 steps in from behind. Now Nature's Prophet looking to get involved. This is a hard commitment coming out from Void Boys here. All hands on deck for it. Even the Invoker contributing with the Sunstrike. They're going to get the first grab, taking down the Spirit Breaker. Now they look for Rasta. They're going to grab him. 2-0 swing for Void Boys. Their most promising exchange of the game so far. And they're going to be looking to follow it up with a tier 1 takedown. It's a good chunky little swing there. It's not the big rubber band effect, but it's enough with the advantage that PaiN already had that it's going to secure them a nice little surplus. But not even this tier 1's going to be coming easy. No hard damage coming out, and with PaiN quickly rotating in, they got to get the hell out of there.
Yeah, good decision making there. They might have been able to fight it, but at this point you take what you can get and then you sort of re-go a second time through and make sure that you're able to take the engagements that are best for you, because they can't settle for anything less at this stage. They have to make something happen with the black hole, and they have to do it on their own terms. If they're responding to PaiN moving in, there's always the chance that there could be some other members of their team right behind them. And I mean, Darkseer is getting closer to the mech, so you want to do something pretty soon, but they still have a lot of burst damage. Sunstrike is still going to end up doing 280 pure damage right on top of somebody within a black hole. If you end up going for the solo, you still have all of the magical damage that's coming out from Oracle. I mean, it's worth noting he does a heck of a lot of damage. With the 2 Purifying Flames as well as one of those Fortune's End, it's almost 800 magical damage within the space of just a couple of seconds. So they've got the pieces. It's just going to come down to execution and digging themselves out of this hole that they found themselves in.
Yeah, it's a pretty steep hole here, but the steps towards recovery, you can see them now. Obviously, get Tovas, the Invoker, who is way down on the net worth. Man, he was put in a tough run at the start, but he is trying to put together at least the Midas here. He's 100 or so gold off, and he can start making it work. But we all know that a Midas is typically at its weakest when you first get it, so he's not going to have a lot to add on top of it. So if caught out, he could be very, very frail. And for the Slark here, who's getting close to about 1K, the dreams of a Midas might still be there, but do you think that's a smart choice to make in this kind of situation, or should he just move on forward with getting something like a Blink or Shadow Blade to kind of find maybe some kill opportunities?
I don't know if he necessarily... At this point, it's all about being able to sort of survive through that initial part. As we actually are going to see the Queen of PaiN get solo Black Hole. This is absolutely huge. 500 gold go in the direction of that Invoker, and that's going to be his Midas right away. I think that it really comes down to if you feel like the rest of your team can carry you through that initial phase. If they can get stuff done like that last move, I think he might feel comfortable going for the Midas, but it's a really big ask. I personally think that Shadow Blade is the safer option. But also, I mean, if you're playing it safe when you're this far behind, it might be worth it. You might just be sort of playing to not lose as bad. You know what I'm talking about there?
Yeah, no, I definitely do. It depends what kind of mental state Void Boys, or at least how much trouble they see themselves in now. I would be expecting PaiN Gaming to kind of turn it up a bit more at this point. Black Hole has been committed, so it's definitely a non-factor. It looks like Shadow Shaman now has his level 6 wards at the ready. I think PaiN Gaming should consider looking to take a fight. They're still the stronger team. They have still the higher net worth, the more items online, if you will, and they're ready to play right now. And with Black Hole being kind of out of the picture, this is definitely their opportunity. If not going for that, maybe an early go in for the Roche. We'll have to see, but otherwise, Gyrocopter has free will if he wants to start pulping down some stacks that have been built up for him. Maybe they're waiting for the mech, and once the mech's on, they can begin to 5-man, especially around that Black Hole. And it looks like possibly that Roche could be the idea here, already being scouted out from the Sunstrike. Void Boys are just going to look to drag PaiN away from that pit and maybe towards this top Roche.
Yeah, it's still a little bit scary. I mean, we talked a little bit about the fact that possibly Void Boys are going to be in a slightly better situation now. They've kind of got through that initial burst of the bad laning stage, and it does feel like PaiN Gaming want to fight a lot, which is a way to get back into the game if you can trade somewhat evenly. And realizing that they might be coming in there, they're going to take the tower and just back out. So, I mean, you look at that, all of PaiN Gaming was just walking across the map, and then they don't really end up farming that period, and then they end up getting a sort of return tower for it.
Yeah, but Nature's Prophet does show himself in that mid lane with no tier 1 nearby, and quickly Spiritbreaker makes the jump, but it's a deep commitment way past his team, and he's going to be the one that gets turned on. Tovas picks up that kill. This Invoker is starting to string together a little bit more for himself. After picking up the Midas, suddenly he already has about 1,100 gold. Up in the river, though, they're going to get the catch-up for the Shaman, and they quickly burst him down. Oracle gets the finishing blow with the Purifying Flames, and suddenly Void Boys have just grabbed another 2 kills for themselves, and they're only 1 off. 6-7 your new score. Still top 3 net worth do belong to PaiN, but Void Boys continue to find little opportunities here, even when they don't have a Black Hole, still getting kills.
Yeah, this is really good for them now because I think that the not going for Midas on 747 really is proving to be the proper option here. He's going to be able to get his next big item after picking up the Aquila, and he's actually going to be able to join in with the fights and provide some meaningful, presence there. You're going to have the mechanism up on the Enigma at about 80 gold. You get the bonus armor coming in from the Aquila. It's all looking good. Now, of course, the big moment is this fight around the Ancients that we're going to see in a little while here. The stack is getting larger and larger, and it looks like Gyrocopter is getting close to wanting to take it as there is vision right now from the Radiant side. I want to see if they contest this.
What do they have to contest it, though, right now? Black Hole is back up, so there is that potential, but just with the positioning, it looks like they're not looking to do much about it at this moment and would rather just kind of take what farm is out there on the map. Oh, look at this. Spirit Breaker actually seeing if he can find a pickoff for his team and make it that much easier. They could take the Aegis stack and just the Roach possibly. Now as they move in, False Promise will get the Enigma. He has that black hole. He's looking for an opening, but it's only between two. They move in. They're going to catch two, but the Sonic Wave does come out. 747 going to be forced to step back and away. And quickly a disengage could be out here for Void Boys, but they are going to be the first two to take down. Oh, they get the jump nicely onto Tail, and he goes down as he tries to get a shackle up. 747, man, still low. Steps away from Trouble. Donkey J gets the Sprout. And look at this. Void Boys take down 3. They lose no one, and they're looking for more. Moving on forward, they get the Fortune's End, but they're not going to be able to get the catch. This started with PaiN Gaming trying to take the big fight and to be able to follow up with the Roche, but they're the ones that end up losing so much. Void Boys, big fight for them, and now they're up and ahead 9-7. 3 straight huge fights for them.
God, that's crazy. You look at the damage right there. The Oracle almost did as much damage as the Queen of PaiN, 1,369 versus 1,461, and that was just because if he had the Urn Charges and 3 Purifying Flames, a couple Fortune's Ends. It goes to show how impressive this hero can be if you have the control to allow him to throw out those spells. And I think that was really the turning point of that game, is the fact that they were able to burst on down that Darkseer. They were able to take him out, I think before he even got his mechanism off, and they were able to cast their own mech themselves. So Void Boys, despite the fact their laning stage went bad, good teamfight execution and being able to have those pieces, the black hole up there. We talked about how it was going to need to be sort of that steady piece in the mid game to carry them through to the late stages, and it's working out for them.
I hope it's also not too much of PaiN being a bit overzealous here. They had the kind of opportunity where they could have played things a bit slower, getting that secured Ancient stack without looking to take the fight. Maybe if they waited for Quap to get the Orchid before committing for the exchange. Now she has it, so if she's able to get the jump on, let's say, that Oracle, then he won't be getting anything off, and they could take him out of the equation before any sort of hefty nuke damage or false promise saves are going to even be there. So, but at this point, we're seeing Void Boys be able to match up in the item department now. Even Gatova's picking up a Yules for himself. So just as she picks up the Orchid, he has his own little counter ready to go. And now we're looking at 747 with that Shadow Blade complete. We'll see if he looks to kind of get some blood on it already. Lots of pick-off potential on the map for him. We'll see what kind of opportunities do present itself.
Absolutely. I think that that's going to be a very important piece here. And I'm also really curious to see, and Nature's Prophet's going to be going for the Aghanims. So we went for the early drums to try and allow to make sure that he's, going to be able to survive through these team fights. But after the fact, it's the split push game. He's going to keep these lanes constantly pressed out. Might build into the, I don't know if he goes for the full Octarine or not. I think that Aghanims on its own is pretty potent. And then what you've got is a situation where when these solo supports, like this Shadow Shaman here, are pushing out the lanes, Slark can come in immediately like this and find the pickoffs. And here it is right away, going to be able to find an easy kill. It's such a great little combination because you want to keep those lanes pressed against it, and they need to shut down this Nature's Prophet with the charge.
Yeah, but because Void Boys did show themselves on the bottom, this means that PaiN can make their move for the top lane. Spirit Breaker moves in. Nature's Prophet, oh my goodness, he's able to make it away. They don't get the vision in time. They can't take the Sprout down fast enough, and he TP's away from trouble. What a huge loss now for PaiN. They lose their Shadow Shaman on the bottom lane. They commit the call down at the top lane. They're going to get nothing for it. Quickly going into high gear now. Void Boys in this bottom lane. Moving on in, and with the help of the Eidolons here, looking to break the tier 1. They have the black hole if necessary. Flies in trouble. There's the Orchid Sonic Wave. He gets the mech. They're going to heal him up, but it's not going to be enough. He still goes down. There's the black hole. Catches onto 4. And make it 5 with the Queen of PaiN, but it doesn't matter, Gabe. In the end, there's no damage. It's all for control. Only holding PaiN in their place. 747 to go down next because of the top lane and that little skirmish. They didn't have the ability to rotate in and be a presence. There was no tier 1 to get on, and I guess just Void Boys didn't have enough hands on deck. They couldn't turn it around.
Oh man, that was like the ultimate, and oh my god, it's amazing black hole, but nothing to follow it up. It would have been really great, but the Queen of PaiN even walked into it at the end. I think that there's maybe a chance there that if Slark ended up, walking off to the left instead of trying to hide in the trees, he would have been able to escape. But regardless, PaiN responding really carefully and clearly to what they needed to do. If you had the Invoker there, like imagine if he dropped down Sunstrike Meatball in the midst of that black hole. That's the combo, that's the setup, that's what they need to sort of aim for. But it's going to require an Enigma to get his his Blink Dagger, which he should have in a little while here. I'm expecting that's his next item.
I almost feel bad overhyping it a bit because you're almost expecting the Invoker to be there with all the kit and caboodle ready to go, but of course he caught up in the top lane and with nowhere to really get in to the action fast enough. It makes you wonder that if Voidboys maybe should reserve the black hole here. Now without the threat of the hole, PaiN Gaming make their move into the pit, even committing the wards for this one. So they are hoping to walk away with it, but here comes Voidboys now, right at the back end of it, looking to make a move in, 747, it's going to be too late. Goes in, gets scouted, makes his move, trying to get a whole Spirit Breaker, they pop the dust, they're going to be able to take the cow down, and now they look for more, Tail going to be caught up, they get the second pickup onto them, Meatball combo looking to go here for the Gyrocopter, he gets back up, and now is up in arms with Donkey J here. On the other side, they get their catch, taking down the Queen of PaiN, so the Aegis is already to be down. All the meanwhile, they are able to isolate and take down the Nature's Prophet pretty easily. On the second life here of the Queen of PaiN, she blinks away from trouble into the pit, and now they instead look for the Darkseer here. Ratsu trying to make it away, but eventually 747 and Oracle are going to be able to nuke him down, and it's going to turn into a 3, or actually make it 4 for one trade, counting the first Aegis.
That was really well played there. The Nature's Prophet, basically, he popped his ultimate. When it ended up getting the first kill, it created one of those big treants, and he was able to soak up a ton of that Gyrocopter rocket barrage and survive. And then everybody was focused over on him while they were getting the pick off on the other side of the map, and then they just came back in for cleanup crews. So again, a really well executed team fight by Voidboys, and possibly maybe a little bit of being caught off guard by PaiN Gaming. It feels like they're not comfortable in the game right now. They've been sort of contested over and over again, and 15 seconds left for Black Hole. If they don't move quickly and take him out, they're definitely going to lose this tower, but I fear that they're going to try and take this fight with Black Hole up.
I mean, they're all here now. PaiN Gaming, man, just not looking to shy away from any sort of potential fight at this point. They have all 5 now committed for the bottom lane here. Fly creeps in, gets the ward down, but now they're going to be seeing the rotation in. Not getting the Yules off, goes for the Cold Snap instead, and it might not be enough here. Self-Yules is going to be there. The Tovos now going to get jumped from the co-op. There's the call down, and quickly the Invoker does go down. It looks like they got a brief glimpse there of the Enigma. He blinks down south to make it away, but they ping right on top of him here. Do they have a way to get inside? They certainly do. They jump in, they get the vision, they vacuum him back, tie him up, and take him down. 2 going to be grabbed up from PaiN Gaming this day. Or poor Oracle still kind of holding it out on his own, but PaiN Gaming though move on forward and they get a hard commitment and a good couple of kills.
Man, that was really close. It was so close to being a huge turnaround for Voidboys. Enigma went into the side shot, picked up his Blink Dagger, and was thinking about jumping in there. They would have been able to catch the Spirit Breaker and maybe throw out a combo with the Invoker, but the rest of the team not quite showing. PaiN Gaming, despite the fact that they've consistently tried to take fights, they're still being very wary of the Enigma with that black hole. So good decision-making and positioning by them, and it ends up working out to be able to pick up a quick kill and then the follow-through also to take out the Enigma. So across the board doing good things, and this time at least Enigma doesn't blow the black hole to just be able to make sure that he got a couple of them without the follow-up. I think that now you're still looking at a situation where Gyrocopter is going to become very scary if they don't deal with him soon.
Yeah, it still has just the SNY and Helm here, but it looks like he will be throwing together the BKB. He already has 2 of the 3 components for it, and at that point the Invoker really doesn't become much of a problem. And Gyrocopter can really kind of roam free and being able to dish out the heavy damage right now. So we'll see though when PaiN Gaming might consider ramping it up a bit. Maybe getting a hold of a Blink Dagger here on Ratsu would make the setup a bit easier for his Darkseer. BKB also in order for the Queen of PaiN, so double BKBs I imagine is going to be just the huge defensive tool they're going to be really waiting for here. But Voidboys looking to get in position. If they can cut them off and get a huge setup, Black Hole, Invoker combo, this could rain all over the PaiN parade. Set up with the Yules. He's waiting for it, but then they make their jump. Enigma needs to reposition, and there's going to be a false promise. The Enigma Black Hole right in the middle, catches, vacuum into it, but it's quickly canceled and taken apart. PaiN Gaming not allowing any of that to happen. 747 now intercepts, tries to get a kill himself, but quickly on the retreat. Pounces. No, doesn't make it over the cliff. He gets orchided up now and focused up entirely. Fate's Edict will prevent the magical damage, and he gets a couple of heals, and with the help of the Glimmer, will make it off to safety. PaiN will have to pull back with the winnings they've already gotten, but a big one at that. They take the fight of Void Boys. Black Hole is going to be a bit of a swing and a miss, and they will continue to hold their advantage. I don't even think they had to use no BKB even committed for the gyrocopter at that point, or the Queen of PaiN. So now they have BKBs ready to go. Let's see if they turn it into any sort of extra pressure on the other side.
God, can I just say how much I love watching Enigma games? It's just on the edge of your seat, those little positioning moments. You see him go for the black hole and lay it right down on top of himself, so that way he gets the max radius for it. And it's unfortunate right on the very edge, and because of that, Spirit Breaker doesn't get caught in it. He's able to throw back the Nether Strike, and then the huge vacuum wall set up right on top of wards. It was just really well played. I thought they were going to be able to make it happen with the turnaround and the Invoker throwing out his combos, but really good play by the Queen of PaiN also there with the Orchid to line it up. I just think that at this stage in the game, if you're Void Boys, you can't do anything. Like the plus side is that they have the Nature's Prophet with that Aghanim Scepter, and he is going for Octarine now, who can keep the waves pushed out when they don't have Black Hole up, so they're not able to take objectives as easily. Also, Eidolons are great for that. But the fear that I have is eventually with all of the sort of counter push that PaiN Gaming has, they're going to get to a stage where this gyrocopter is going to be unmanageable because he's going to be eating so many of these treants.
Yeah, and it does feel like that they're just banking a lot on the back of 747 at this point. As you're alluding to, they could stall out to make the biggest fight possible around this black hole, but if any chance is a bit of a swing and a miss, then they're going to be at a huge disadvantage when they don't have it now. Top lane, they get their catch onto Oracle here. He tries to glimmer up and hide, but the four of them just easily pinpoint him and take him down. And now going to have a bit of a numbers advantage here. PaiN Gaming look to get these pushes back across the river if possible. And we'll have to see if they want to take things a bit slow and possibly stall out for the next Roche, or if they're going to be looking to ramp it up a bit. But without having any extra like frontliner or initiator for the side of Void Boys, it makes things really just kind of feel like it's all on this black hole of a setup right now. Outside of that, it's just 747 being able to carry their team.
Definitely. I think the last little bit of it is to try and, do whatever they can to take the towers with Nature's Prophet treants. But again, PaiN Gaming has really good counter for that. They've got the Queen of PaiN there who can jump on in and scream of pain. They've got the Shadow Shaman with Aethershock that's constantly going to be able to keep those waves pushed out. So they need to sort of min-max it the best that they can and make sure that the Eidolons are doing everything they can to keep the waves pushed out. Because you take a look at that last fight, they take it really convincingly. Black Hole was down for a long time, Invoker was out of the picture, and then by the time they're actually able to take a tower, Black Hole's back up again because they have to constantly keep the waves pushed out against the split push like we're seeing now on the bottom tier 2.
Committing in deep for this one. 747 really wants to get that tier 2. Eventually he will be forced back. Homing Missile will be out to chase, but that's for the Nature's Prophet who already made their escape. And PaiN are just frantically hustling right now to see if they can catch anyone on the way out. Doesn't look like they will. And I imagine they'll have to double back a bit and probably just wait out for the Roche and Aegis grab right now. This is stall tactics right now for Void Boys in a sense where they can get back into the grind of pushing out the side lanes here in hopes that this will build up enough time here for 747 to be a bit of a problem right now. Looks like he got his own version of a heavy stack game and getting the Sage and Yasha, but I'm curious to see what he's going to get for a follow-up at this point. Do you just go into something like a Scotty or maybe a Basher? I guess a Basher to the Abyssal Blade might be one of his best options here to get the lockdown through the BKBs of both the Queen of PaiN and the Gyro.
I think that it really comes down to what type of game Void Boys want to play. If they want to go for the split pushing and then finding pickoffs wherever they can, that is the Basher play into Abyssal. If they want to try and be able to actually team fight them and sort of survive the onslaught, then Scotty is the better option. And I think that based off the way we've been seeing it, he's probably going to go Basher. But look over here in the mid lane, they're going to be able to get the Malefice off right at the start. Black Hole is up if they want to go for it, but the charge is going to be able to connect. The Deafening Blast back through. They only get one in the wall. Not sure if it's going to be enough there, as it does look like Spirit Breaker is going to go down. But meanwhile, the Sonic Wave comes in. Can they kill off the Nature's Prophet? He ends up getting False Promise. They are going to be able to survive through this, but I think that at the end, oh, the 3-person Black Hole! It might be enough to be able to turn this back around!
I don't know if they have enough at that point. Nature's Prophet does bite back, but they need even more. Can they get it? PaiN Gaming. Only losing the Spirit Breaker, still feel confident strong that they might be able to nearly close this game out, or at least push it into the base. And look at that, they're just going to turn and walk away. I guess the seeing of the dieback, or rather the buyback here from the Nature's Prophet, they're going to be satisfied with what they've already gotten. And with that, they'll 180 and walk back out. Unfortunately, not the ideal setup there, it looks like, for the Void Boys. Every time a Black Hole comes, it's a big grab, but unfortunately it was a bit missed its mark. A great attempted setup. Void Boys had a great smoke positioning on the high ground. They made the jump for the gyrocopter, but things did get a bit hectic thereafter, and quickly, Slark going down was absolute crucial there for PaiN Gaming.
Oh, God, and you see that combo, the 3 people caught in it, and the Invoker had already casted out several of the spells in the combo earlier to try and stay alive in the team fight. It's just, it every time feels like the combo is just minutes away from being able to get finished off. And I think that, based upon the build that this Invoker has gone, he's ended up moving from the Eul Scepter, or into the Eul Scepter Blink with the Boots of Travel. So the ultimate pick-off combo with the Sunstrike. The only issue that I end up seeing pretty soon for PaiN is that if he picks up an Aghanim Scepter, we're going to be seeing a lot more of those spells thrown around, and all of a sudden, it doesn't necessarily have to be meteors thrown out anymore. I mean, even an Ice Wall with Cold Snap on these guys is going to be enough to really deal a lot of damage in the team fight. So I'm concerned the longer this game goes on for PaiN Gaming, their ability to survive the solo pick potential as Slark gets bigger, and all these things come online.
Well, they're good for the meantime. They have still some pretty fresh BKBs, specifically on the Queen of PaiN and Gyrocopter, to deal with the heavy onslaught of spell casting coming out from Void Boys. But if those begin to dwindle down a bit, it could be a bit of a problem. They've made their move into the pit, but they have a sentry down, and they spot out 747, so he's going to be forced back, and they quickly will get their own D-ward. So looking to pick up from where they left off. They go right back into the grind, halfway dead now. It looks like maybe Void Boys have just accepted the fact that they're not going to be able to contest and will just take their business elsewhere. So PaiN will get the easy Aegis here. What do you think, Gabe? Should they consider just ramping it up and going right towards Void Boys' base? But is it going to be so easy? The split pressure has begun, and now it's like that headache of a mini-game beginning here for PaiN Gaming right now, trying to just keep all the pressure off their base from all these ridiculous Treants.
Yeah, I think that's the issue is, you see them here. How long has it taken them to even just clear out this one creep wave that's been in the mid lane? There was Forge Spirits, there was Eidolons, there was Treants, there was just every little creep in the world just causing them trouble. And every time they move around, it's just Rat Dota. Every time they try and move around and push out any lane, they're not able to do it. And I'm not sure about this pickup of the Scythe of Ice for the Queen of PaiN. I really feel like an Aghanim Scepter might be the item here just to get that lowered cooldown to clear out the creep waves. Their issue is not lockdown, their issue is not damage, their issue is just killing creeps. And that's what they need to do.
I mean, I would agree. With the pickup of a Sheepstick, I would hope that means that they're not looking to have to battle that kind of push game, and that she's looking to be aggressive and just make a quick game-ending kind of a pick happen with this sheep and then just end it sooner than later. Right now, she's making a huge creep movement here towards the mid lane, trying to get a nice little solo pick possibly onto this Enigma, but if she doesn't make a lot happen with the Sheepstick, she will be one of the people who's forced to kind of help out with the hectic pushes, and without Nagams, it'll be a lot more difficult. Now they've made their move, looking to get a hold of the Slark. Quap will intercept, they make their move, Sonic Wave. Quickly, the Slark will go down without a buyback, and the follow-up's going to be the Oracle. Easy flank play comes out from PaiN Gaming, and now they can go in for the push. Now, there is a bottom lane push coming in from Gatovas right now, so someone needs to address it, and it looks like it's going to be the Spirit Breaker.
And their hope here, I think, is just they need to try and keep anybody that they can to keep the creep waves pushed out. And I think Spirit Breaker, he's going to just be ready to charge back in, and they're going to try and make their move in the mid lane. This is really the play for them. They've been keeping the Gyrocopter there the entire push. He's actually going to run right on into the Enigma. Needs to be careful because there's actually nobody here with him. All right, now the rest of the team is going
what was that
up
blink forward? He's just like, how's it going? Yeah, he got to be careful. If Queen of PaiN was lingering behind or something, he would have just blinked himself into death. There would have been no glorious potential black hole defense. Things could have been over pretty damn fast, but Slark will be up. They'll get some good damage onto this tier 3. Maybe not enough to take it down, and that's where you kind of have to give a little bit of a nod to Void Boys. As long as this black hole's up, they have tremendous high ground intimidation and defense.
And look at top lane. Like, they don't even have any creeps there, but the treants are just going to be there to kill off the creep wave that's going to come out in a second. And there's no creeps the whole rest of the way because Nature's Prophet's just been consistently killing them. This is so frustrating to play against. And in mid lane, too, you got more treants, you got Forge Spirits. They're just being overrun by all of these little things. And Queen of PaiN looking for the pickup on the high ground. I don't know if she can find it without Sonic Wave, though.
This is where she's looking to make more use out of Sheepstick than having to be on anti-push duty, but if Void Boys are smart, I'd say they have to employ more of a buddy-buddy system here and not have anyone be caught out on their own. It's very apparent that this Queen of PaiN's feeling pretty damn frisky, so they may need to make sure that they don't kind of get too adventurous here. I mean, her duty may be more not stop the trance coming in, but catch out Nature's Prophet just kind of pushing on his own. But no opportunities have been there yet. It's more Void Boys just kind of being extra cautious with the play. But as I say that, here comes again another movement for 747. Are they going to get the help? Counterplay. There's a nice black hole, but it's going to secure them to kill on the Queen of PaiN. Spirit Breaker's going to be able to make it away with the Shadow Blade, but now with no black hole, look at this. Gyrocopter just muscles forward. BKB going to be popped and now looks for the go on his 747, but he's going to be taking down the Spirit Breaker and getting the hell out of there. Gyrocopter now, no more BKB for him. Looking to dive on in. There's the vacuum wall set up. Gatovas will be going down. Turns it into a 2-for-1 trade. So Void Boys looking to get the hell back at this point. Oh no, Enigma could be spotted out. Queen of PaiN is back. Sonic Wave, a swing and a miss, but she's still able to get the blink in, and still Enigma makes it back to safety with a TP. Oh man, he is good.
Slippery indeed. He manages to just get out of there. That value homing missile almost caused him his death as it ended up hitting at the very end. But again, the other problem is they've got the split push game. I think that they're finally ready to start going up here in the top lane. Creeps are almost in the base, and as you mentioned, no black hole for a heck of a long time. They're going to try and get the deep push going, and just like that, all the creeps are dead.
Nature's Prophet, pretty nice hero at this point. Agnums and the precious Octarine core. No push is going to be coming too easy here. This is where things may get a bit frustrating for PaiN, and where this game could end up going a bit longer than we anticipate. So I don't know if it's going to be quick to kind of deal with the push now for PaiN and how they prepare. I don't know if it's like Maelstrom territory yet for someone like Queen of PaiN, but Gyrocopter is pretty game ready. He actually even commits in for Boots of Travel too. I don't know if that's going to be for any sort of quick response after a good fight so they can close the game out before the push gets into their base, but they don't really have much of an answer to kind of go with the Gyro toe-to-toe right now. Yeah. But maybe that's just not going to be the game plan for Void Boys. Slark can go for casual support picks, but for the most part it's avoid fights and push out all lanes as much as you can.
Absolutely, and you can see him here. He's ready to take care of all these treants. Look up in the top lane. So much gold going his direction. He actually waited for the Agnum Scepter ulti to come in, so that way it would spawn more treants so that he would get more gold from it. Like, he's playing the game against Nature's Prophet now, and it starts to get to a situation where you can think about even... I mean, obviously not as a next item, but once he starts to get more and more gold, the later the game goes, he can start buying like an Aghanims that he holds in his stash, so that way he can pop out his ulti from across the map. Things like that start to play into his favor, but it's a tough road ahead for them to actually make any type of reasonable push happen. And the real issue is that they can't get picked off while they're trying to push out these lanes, which is why you see the Boots of Travel level 2 on Gyro.
Back into the grind here. We'll see a move out from PaiN. They smoke, and they're looking to head out. We still have a while before the Roche is up, but it looks like they're not looking to stall out and play this pesky Nature's Prophet kind of a game here. And as they commit on deep here, there's going to be no one close by here from the side of Void Boys. Still kind of all together here, hanging by this top lane. PaiN Gaming are not going to be able to find any sort of pickoff opportunity here. And I wonder what they're going to be able to do, because as they step in, they'll plant some aggressive wards that will kind of give them the extra vision from Void Boys here, but they have to continue to double back and deal with these pushes. Bottom lane's all the way in. Darkseer's taking care of that. Then he needs to head to mid lane. Treants are coming out from the park, it looks like, nearby, and they're looking to get involved right now. This is just crazy. Like, it's going to take... I mean, I like this play, though. Gyrocopter top lane. I mean, he's parking himself on the side here. But
the one thing about it that's a little scary is that you see Void Boys are getting more confident in terms of the farm that they're getting. Like, the difference in net worth is becoming less important because everybody has those big items up that are really important for them to go into the later stages. The other key item that they really need to keep an eye on is the Spirit Breaker with Shadowblade. It becomes really scary for Nature's Prophet to push out anywhere. But I'm not sure if he's even really going to be able to have the solo kill potential himself. He constantly has to keep dust on him to make sure that he's able to kill off the Slark, but if he does that, he can't pick up the bigger items that allow him to find kills, and then he has to have like the gyrocopter TPing in on him as he's charging, which is a play, but it's like a little bit clunky. There's just a lot of things that need to go right for PaiN to find any type of real push avenue.
Man, this Nature's Prophet just is not making it easy. Like, he just goes up and beyond, happy to cut down the wave, pops out the trees, and as PaiN are advancing through the river, they're like, hey, wait a minute, what's going on there? And they're going to double all the way back, and they don't know where the hell he is. They're just assuming he's got to be in the jungle there, so they're probably... Maybe they need to start considering getting the Tinker wards down on the side of the lane so they can get an idea of where the Nature's Prophet's moving, but... I mean, it's going to feel like a bit of a while. Now, there's a clunky movement you were talking about. They had a Queen of PaiN jump in with the Boots of Travel rotation from Gyro, but no kill will be presenting itself. I really can't help but feel like PaiN, they can stall it out for a bit. They can get the next Roche, which is already up, get the Aegis. But if they don't get a lot done with this Aegis, Void Boys are just going to be able to starve out PaiN Gaming and just slowly wither them away. It's like the worst kind of slow, painful death you watch in Dota, but... Void Boys are kind of playing that style of game, and I don't think there's going to be much to stop them if it doesn't happen soon from PaiN.
You know, the first time that I saw this, it was actually at the Frankfurt major qualifiers, and it was Alliance doing it against Liquid. And the thing that everybody kept on saying was, I can't believe this is how Liquid is going to get knocked out of this tournament. It wasn't necessarily the team or anything else. It was just that this style of play is so it's viable. It works. It does its job. But it's a different type of game. You're no longer playing what I would consider like normal Dota by any means. And you know, the refresher is the next item up for Nature's Prophet. He's not stopping anytime soon. He's going to keep on doing his thing. And the smoke play up here towards Roshan Pit. Okay. Do they find who they're trying to find?
Oh, Sentry dropped his 7-for-7, moves in, and they're going to hex him right away. It could be unfortunate timing, but there's the false promise save. He makes it out. A jump in from the Enigma gets a nice black hole, but it's quickly canceled, and now he's bumped up to the high ground. PaiN could be fighting for the low ground to be able to dish him apart. Fly eating a lot of the damage here, has to step back, but it's PaiN losing one by one. KotLGuy moves in, adding some extra assistance. They're going to be losing their Enigma at this point, and Darkseer now going to be unfortunately out of position to be able to get the catch. It looks like a bit of a disengage here, potentially from Void Boys. Self-sprout. KotLGuy, though, hit quickly with the homing missile, and they'll be able to take him down. But this Slark now begins to go to work. Beefing up with the stats, he heals up with the Shadow Dance, and will be able to back it back into action here. But they both step out and away. PaiN Gaming take a hard hit. We check over the fight recap. It's a nod towards PaiN Gaming's side. It was a buyback committed from your Nature's Prophet, so Void Boys need to move in and get this Roche fast if they want to really try to make it worth.
You know, I felt like there was a moment there where Slark could have backed out, but he went back in, and I think that the reason he went back in there wasn't to try and find a kill. It was just to buy more time so they could deal damage to this tower and all of the towers and keep the lanes pushed out, because like you said, this is all about making sure that they don't have an opportunity to push and don't have an opportunity to take Roche. You look back again, PaiN Gaming were in an opportunity where they ended up killing off a lot of the people on the side of Void Boys, and now Enigma's back up. It's still a while before Black Hole's going to be up, but they created enough time, they bought enough space that they're in a position where they can defend a Roshan push if PaiN try and take it, and I think that they're almost ready to make it happen. They do end up popping the BKB, who thought that they were going to be in there, but no such luck.
They really try to time that out so it would be like a surprise, a special delivery right into the Roche pit there for Void Boys. But they move in and they'll kind of take the Roche away from themselves, and it could be back to the grind here for Void Boys to kind of make sure they can stall it out. So PaiN Gaming aren't going to get much use out of this life. All lanes easily push towards PaiN Gaming's side, and they're going to have to go right on defense. And to echo what we were talking about before, the comparison is, you know, teams getting knocked out by these kind of strategies or having to go against these kind of strategies. Yes, the initial feeling is it feels cheap and dirty and ratty and slimy, but it is tactical and part of the game. I would compare it to, like, I'm not huge into Smash, but, like, I know, like, when you play against certain heroes or, like, Jigglypuff, let's say, there are time stalling tactics, and it can be similar to that, but, oh, hold that thought, is moving in now. PaiN going deep. They're going to get the quick kill on the Orchid. Sonic Wave, they get the Enigma down as well. 40R, quickly godlike on his gyrocopter. They've gotten the two-man takedown, but can they do anything with it? Back at bottom lane, their tier 3 slowly getting whittled down from that pesky Nature's Prophet. And even the top lane is still pushed inside their base. Mid's getting close. So getting kills is great, but Void Boys are happy to just continue to throw bodies at the base side. It's on PaiN Gaming to try to make it across the river and somehow all the way into Void Boys territory.
It's almost worth it at this point for Nature's Prophet to not be with the team ever, because what he provides is just the ability to keep the lanes pushed out. And there is, if he gets caught, that's pretty much game almost, because he doesn't have buyback right now. He isn't going to have it for any time soon, 4 minutes roughly. The only plus side to him being not in Fountain is that he can summon Treants further down the lanes, but that's pretty much it. And I think you can think about possibly going for something like a sheet stick on him, but I'm not sure if that's worth it ever over having buyback. I don't think it is.
No. PaiN Gaming better get like all of their buybacks and secondary lives ready to go for this kind of a game. But here we make a move. Spirit Breaker just kind of, oh, look at this. Scouts him out. Going to travel in. Gets the bump. Gyro's there with a call down. Can they get the quick pick on this dirty little Nature's Prophet? Yes, they can. He is out 80 seconds, and he has no buyback. He had made a commitment, it looks like, here to get the BKB. No. Orchid? No. Well,
it's on cooldown.
I'm on the wrong hero. I'm on the wrong hero. Got the instant refresher. Yeah. So, yeah. Because of that recent Roche fight, he is going to be down for the count, but PaiN still need to continue to step back and kind of get the lanes back in order. Courier going to be going down. Looks like top lane going to be picked off from 747, not holding a lot, though. Here's PaiN's chance. This is a window for him, Gabe. They need to be able to make a lot out of it here in the bottom lane.
Yeah, and there's no real way to de-push this. 40 seconds where they are going to be free of Treants. They're going to take as much advantage of this as possible, and so much on these heroes. Aegis up on Gyrocopter. If they don't get a huge black hole right here, this is going to potentially even be game. They need to make it count as they do get the start off at the fight.
Ward's now committed. 40R not looking to lose his first life. Now I'll move in. False Promise looking to soak up the damage, but there's the jump. There's the black hole. It's on the 3. Can they follow it up with the damage? It doesn't look like it. Quickly already out. They're going to pop him with the Nether Strike. Now it's going to be Void Boys forced back. Tier 3 is down. Rax is now exposed. Nature's Prophet soon to be back. A big call down. Drops right on top of Void Boys' head. They're going to lose their Oracle. Going to be forced to buy back. 747 looking to go toe-to-toe with the Gyro, but the Gyro going to be coming out on top. Only to lose his Aegis there at the end. Now Nature's Prophet back. The big Wrath of Nature just bounce right through, clears out the way, but PaiN Gaming holds strong. Big vacuum pullback now. Queen of PaiN looking to move in, going to get hexed up. They get the shackle catch for Donkey J. He already got back. If they take him down, this may be the game for PaiN. And it looks like they got it. Now out 60 seconds. They've taken the racks, the first real base damage of the game. PaiN Gaming, man. All led in with that huge pick off of the Nature's Prophet. The special delivery factor coming out from the Spirit Breaker and Gyrocopter to get the catch on that Nature's Prophet had all led to this.
Absolutely, yeah, that was definitely, I mean, that's the moment right there. You talk about Boots of Travel level 2, you talk about the Shadow Blade, the Spirit Breaker. They made the play that they needed to. They got some racks for it. I will say, it was one set of racks, Nature's Prophet's back up in 35 seconds, and all the other lanes are pushed. It's still going to be a trek for PaiN to make it happen, but you see the way to the end. You see a light at the end of the tunnel. This is how you end up being able to beat off this team and finish them. You need to be able to find that pick off. And I'm wondering at this stage now, as this Nature's Prophet, do you just start hanging out in Fountain? Like it almost feels worth it, and the only time you end up leaving is to be able to move on into the trees and take kills. But honestly, you talked about the Tinker wards too. They're up now. You aren't even safe going over there into the trees to summon treants.
And you're right. I mean, getting hit like that might only just force Void Boys to play even more defensively. Now, it doesn't look like it because they make their move to mid lane, and they might have just gotten a catch onto a gyrocopter themselves. They're going to be awarded with that pick. Now, Gyro does have a buyback here, and I assume Void Boys are going to look to force it out right now. They're hustling down this mid lane. They need about 25 seconds for a black hole to be at its ready. But look at that, Void Boys. Maybe just PaiN anticipating that they were going to be taking it a bit safe. Quickly stub their toe as mid lane they get the jump. And now as they advance on in, an early glyph committed, Gyro might be forced to pull out a buyback or risk losing their racks. And against a team with a Nature's Prophet with Ags, Octarine, you don't want to be losing anything inside your base. But now a jump on the outside here. There's the buyback. Shadow Shaman leads in and making a move for Fly here. Can't get the finish. They end up making their grab onto the Oracle and a good follow-up. 40R makes a strong return, taking down the Enigma. And now they look to get hold of Slark, and he is hustling away under his Shadow Dance. Turns the corner, tries to 180 away. Can he sidestep out? It doesn't look like the juke's not going to be there. And Slark will go down. 117 seconds with no buyback. Here comes PaiN Gaming now. And I'm sure they're frustrated as hell having to go against these pesky Treant protectors. They're looking to go right for the jugular here soon.
Oh my goodness, that was such a good catch by them, and a bit of a misplay by Void Boys, I want to say. It's so tough because you want to be able to, make that move and really make your play, but I think it might end up costing them. No buyback up on Slark, as you mentioned, and there was the chance there with the Agnum Scepter on the Invoker that you could have found something, but look at this, Tier 3 tower is going to go down, and there's just no response. They're going to have creeps in their base, so even though you're going to have the Nature's Prophet cutting the creep wave, it doesn't matter because backdoor protection is down. I don't know if they're going to be able to survive throughout this onslaught. The plus side for them was Black Hole wasn't used, so if they can salvage one more lane of racks, you still have the Treants pushing in the mid lane here, which is about to take out the Tier 3 tower if they're able to out DPS the backdoor protection. I'm not sure if it's going to be enough, though.
They're trying their damnedest here, and it might be all in on one big Black Hole Invoker combo if they want to kind of fend this off, because they're at risk now. Final Rax is exposed. That holds them between mega creeps here. Mid lane, they continue to tickle that Tier 3, not able to take it down. Void Boys can't get it yet, and now the Raxes begin to be chunked apart. Where's the moment? They're looking for it, and they're not going to get it. Enigma gets jumped, but quick false promise does save him from trouble, but it looks like they might get the Megas. Oh my goodness, it's still alive and well. They're making the move for 40R. There's the Deafening Blast. There's the Meatball. Where's the Enigma? He's trying to get in. He's BK beat up, but he can't find the opening. Good positioning from PaiN Gaming. They stay spread now, and they get their racks, and they get the hell out of there. They know they have the Megas, and they're looking to just take that advantage and step off.
Well, here comes the real test now. Can Nature's Prophet outrat Megas? And I don't know if it's been done before, I'm not sure, but certainly if there's going to be somebody to try it, Donkey J is going to be the man to see if he can do it. Does also have the Desolator at this point, so just doubling down on that tower push. They still have not taken a Tier 3 tower, but if you take a look at the HPs for all of them, they're pretty freaking low, and I do have to say that if Mega Creeps start to come into play and we get into the stage where Void Boys are able to possibly rat them away from it, there's a chance that you end up being able to come out on top for Void Boys, but it's going to be a really big ask because the Refresher is coming into play with his Wrath of Nature.
Yeah, I mean, if they had any other lineup, this game probably would have been quick to be over, but Void Boys still feel like they got that chance. They have nursed that Black Hole, and they're looking to utilize it here. A big fight right by the PaiN Gaming base could quickly turn into a turnaround for Void. They could go right in for the jugular Tier 4 action and close it out here. Can they get the opening? No. Look how defensive PaiN
is playing this so smart.
PaiN is just like, we got Megas here. We don't need to be out there and at risk. They go out though, babe. Three of them in the mid lane here. Scoping out the front door here. It looks like Void Boys in the back end of their smoke. Quickly have to pull off. Oh no, Enigma's alone if spotted out. Could get jumped, but Oh, no, he hasn't been spotted. The charge is actually for the bottom lane. They're looking to go for KotLGuy. Now, they did ping out the Enigma. He's at mid lane. PaiN Gaming know it.
All the TPs, they're in on this Spirit Breaker.
There it is, bottom lane. They make their jump, and they're going to get the kill. Nature's Prophet out 70 seconds, does have a buyback here, and is, of course, going to be forced to use it. Now looking to intercept. Void Boys need this big fight here. Can they find their opening? PaiN Gaming looking to spread quick. Spirit Breaker to the low ground. Right in the middle, though. They catch out the gyrocopter between two of them. They're looking to make their go, while 747 is elsewhere. Black Hole going to be committed. It looks like they will be able to get the gyro. He has no buyback. He's out for nearly 2 minutes. Here comes the comeback potential. Can they get it? 747 looking to make his move in. Ratsu going to be sprouted up. And they're just going to soak out some potential damage here. On the backside, everything. The Ancient's in trouble. Void Boys, I don't think they can hold. Gatovas moves in. And he's looking to just kind of get the aggression off of the tower while possible. Back inside the fight, it's only 747, and that's all they got. Everyone else had to get back to the base here. Get everything off the base. Get it into the fountain.
How does it feel? How does it feel?
Ouch, ouch. They're eating all the damage. Nature's Prophet, a taste of his own medicine here as he's getting swarmed in, and they have finally thrown in the towel. Gabe, after what feels like 3 days, we finally finished game number 1. Nearly an hour long. You got to add on top of that, we started about, 20 minutes late and had about 10 minutes worth of pausing. Game 1 of our long day of BTS America's action is finally in the books. What are we taking away from this?
I think that you need to either ban Nature's Prophet or invest in some type of mental health preparedness strategy when you play against Void Boys. Apparently, no. I think that it was a great game. It showed that this style of play is absolutely alive and well. I think that it sort of harkens back again to maybe they might want to try and pick up a lone druid next time if they're capable of doing that and it gets through the pool. Those are the types of things that I'm looking for the next game, is possibly some more Rad Dota from Void Boys. I have a feeling that this is a style that they like. They also need to have some type of answer for that sort of Shadowblade TP boots level 2, because this, at least in my eyes, is the best use of those items since they've been implemented in the game. I think that this shows right here at least one of the answers to that strategy.
We'll see if they change it up a bit. We're going to cut to a quick break because I know we're already behind schedule. When we return, it's going to be game number 2 of Void Boys versus PaiN Gaming. We're in the opening round of BTS America's 3. I'm KotLGuy for Beyond the Summit. Going to be joined, of course, by LyricalDota. We'll see you soon for game number 2.